Okay, hi there again. Well, we've got the routing all done. I mean, the process is pretty simple. The only thing is, I think it's a bit of a grim job because it's so messy with all the sawdust you get out. But now we've got a cavity, so the F hole can go in, sort of thing, and you can see through it, which will be really nice. And the finish with the router is really good. I'll give that a sanding in there. We've got the control cavity cut out. Now here's the thing I'll be doing. I'll probably go and get a couple of guitars that I've done previously with this similar technique, and yeah, interesting things. But the way I want to mount the pickups. So I'll get back to you shortly. There's a little bit more routing to do at this stage, but then we'll be all done and ready to glue the top on. So be back soon. Cheers. Well, hi there. I just thought I'd introduce some of my older guitars that I built many moons ago, because some of the design features I'm going to be using on this Telecaster build. Now, when I started, I had this grandiose idea that I'd come up with my own range of guitars and everybody would buy them. Yeah, that didn't quite work out, did it? But these are three examples. I mean, they're right-handed guitars. I don't know if I'll be able to flip around the video or whatever. But they just to demonstrate this desire to kind of combine features of basically Fender guitars that I love, and some Gibson features in there and things like that. But I've been using this word, like, if you try and combine too many things, and make a Stratocaster, Telecaster and whatever all in one, you end up with a Crappercaster. Well, this was my range of guitars that I was kind of contemplating doing, and they basically using my favourite features of Telecasters and Stratocasters and bunging them on a body. Well, I obviously didn't want to bung them on a Strat or Tele body because that's too obvious, so I kind of chose a sort of a Jazzmaster, a Jaguar body kind of feature. So let's take the first one and have a look at it. Okay, so this is the first one. A, I love surf green. B, I absolutely love the Telecaster pickup in the rear here. I've always liked that as a sound. I've been a huge Wilco Johnson fan. Love thin lines, so it's thin line, it's featherweight, and it's obviously got its own features. We've got the Strat pickup arrangement basically with a Tele in the bridge. One of the really nice things in this that I never know why hasn't been done, you've got the typical 5-way switch here. So you've got the bridge pickup, bridge and middle and neck, a neck pickup. But what I've simply added is an on-off switch for this pickup, just on a push-pull. So if you're on the front pickup, on the neck pickup, you can flip that on and you've got that pickup. So you've got that and that pickup, which is a great sound. And if you're got that and that pickup on, pull that up, you can have all three on, and that is a really different sound. It's really like a really full kind of 60s sound, really nice. And I think that's so that pickup can be switched on independently to any of these sort of thing. And I've had quite a few people play this and sort of said that's a really nice feature. So like I say, it's thin line, it's also got the contoured Strat style body sort of thing, and the thin line in there, and you can see the matching control plate there. It's hardtail. I do like hardtails personally. So That's other than that, it's fairly Dina, that's my wife's name. She's the model on there. But that's the first one I made, and I've used that guitar again and again and again. And everybody who uses it really loves it, really likes it. Perhaps the only thing I'm not super keen on is the six saddle Tele bridge there. It tends to, you've got to be careful when you set it up that all the grub screws are on the base plate, because I think the things are so small that sometimes they stick between one another and they move, so you've got to be careful of that, so I'm not over keen on that. But other than that, you know, you can see the combination of features there. Let's go on to the next one, and this one is basically like you know, alder body. I decided then to experiment with another one which more or less made it in mahogany this time, and again this one plays so nicely. One of the features on here, again, it's thin line. I sort of made a fancy base plate for the bridge there, sort of thing, but the pickups, you can see the lipstick coil pickups, there's no pick guard, and all the pickups are pushed in via the control spring for the springs cavity for the tremolo there. You can see it's a bit bigger Strat, so the pickups are, you know, the body is very neatly cut to take those pickups, but I just think that looks really cool. It's got a bound neck on it, it's got a really nice sound, and this one really does play well. It plays a bit more like a Gibson sort of thing, and like I say, it's mahogany through and through kind of thing. Gold top kind of finish. I mean, they're old guitars now. Always really liked this. Again, it's got my you know, on off for the back pickup, so you can have all three on. You can, you know, same as the other guitar sort of thing, 5-way switch. Yeah, it's been a while since I've held these, but I don't play much now. Now the last one, I have to say I have a real liking of Gibson SGs. Love the way they play, love the sort of lightweight simplicity of them kind of thing, and this was my attempt at doing a different SG. Now it's got my absolute all-time favourite pickups in it, and these I imported from the States to read reviews of this guy's pickups, and I can't remember what they are. They're probably not made anymore now, but they are vicious. They really are good pickups. You can see we've got this is one of my early features of this kind of tailpiece, if you like, string anchor arrangement. So it's string through, which is like really a solid sound. It's very simple, three position pickups there. You know, simple volume and tone. The fretboard is quite different. I think that's quite funky, you'll agree. So it's got stars, and obviously it's got an American, well, my wife's American, so decided to do a bit of a thing there. So we've got a rosewood, cream binding, maple, cream binding, rosewood fretboard. So that's like red, white and blue with the stars on it, sort of thing. Obviously the finish is American flag finish, which is well cracked now. And it's got a set neck like an SG, and it's got a tip back headstock rather than a flat one like a Fender, so I wanted to make it much more Gibson. And this guitar, I love this guitar, I just love it. It's so simple, you know, anything with P90s on, if you get a bad sound out of it, yeah, you've got the wrong pickups in it or something, or like it's very easy to sound great. Got 2 pneumatic bridge, so it's kind of a, Gibson-esque thing, but anyway, that's what I wanted to show you with these guitars, and it's a good excuse to show them. But this is what I want to do with this Telecaster we're building here. I'm going to use, I think, a P90 in the front, and the nice thing about P90s is there's no mounting legs on it, so the whole thing goes in from the front in the pickup sized hole, so I won't have to cut anything other than the pickup sized hole in that in this top. But the back pickup, I'm going to put a Tele back pickup on, but I want that to go in from the back, in from the control cavity, if I can slide it in, so the hole in the guitar top is just going to be just for the pickup, basically. So that's why I wanted to show you this sort of thing, because I want that kind of look for it, really clean, and that's what we're going for. So anyway, that's an introduction to my now defunct range of guitars that I never sold one of, so just ended up using them myself. But yeah, if you fancy any one of them, get in touch, and I don't think you'll be disappointed, but that might just be me being optimistic. But anyway, there we go. Thank you. Oh, hi there, boys and girls. I'm back again. Well, ploughing through this routing today, which is lovely to get all this over with, so I'll be able to have a bit of a sweep up and get rid of all the shit and derision around here. When I mentioned about my guitars before, and had the three of my old ones out here with the ones with the lipstick coil, one with the lipstick coils that were inserted from the back, and saying that I wanted to do the same for this. So what I've done is, here we've got the routings now out, and I've, with my Telecaster template, marked where the back pickup is roughly, so we're not encroaching on the bridge at all. But so now what I'll be able to do is, when we've got the control cavity hatch or cover cut out of the back, I'll be able to push the pickup in from the back, and then what I'll do is I'll use the neoprene tubing and stick it in place with some super glue sort of thing, and then I'll be able to push the pickup into the control cavity here, and then slide it round. It's going to be a bit of a fiddle underneath, and then we can just have a pickup size hole in the rosewood top and screw it through and up. So just check in that here that, you know, we've got easy access to do that. I don't think it'll be too bad at all, actually. So then we can put the pickup in there, and that will be that. So that's all done. So I think most of the routing now is complete, which is nice, and I'll be cleaning up the inside a little bit. So I think the next thing we do is with the top, obviously we've got the top here, that needs to be glued on and in place, but what I want to do with this first is cut the F hole, and basically come up with a design for the F hole. It might be a traditional one, but I kind of like my swoosh shaped ones sort of thing, so see what sort of a play we can come on that, because what I want to do, like I say, it's going to have maple flame binding around the edge, and I'd like to bind the F hole as well with maple. And if I put a traditional F hole in, that's going to be quite some tight bends to bind that. But if I go for one of my swooshy ones, like we're in one of my other three guitars, then I can do that an awful lot easier. So we'll see how it goes. Really, I'm just pleased to have made this decision this morning. We were talking about whether we're going to do a with thin line. It's all done now, so don't have to worry about that. And okay then, I'll be back soon. Cheers. Well, hi there, back again. I didn't actually record any of that because I hate working with a fret saw, and I'm not sure how YouTube are with expletives every 5 seconds. But I've got my F-hole cut out, and I'm kind of glad after that effort that I didn't go for anything more complicated. I mean, to be honest, this is the saw I used, drilled a couple of holes in it, and then basically finished off with some files and sandpaper wrapped around a hacksaw blade. So labour intensive job. I was expecting this wood to be a bit more liable to splitting on the back, but it cut really well, so that's nice. When I line it up on here now, that's actually where it is, and you can see just at the top here, I think it goes, yeah, about there. You can just see the edge of the body through it, which I was kind of expecting. I mean, I've got a very large landing here, so what I'm going to do is hand route that a bit further away from the edge of the F hole, just to give me a bit more clearance, sort of thing. I mean, again, that's one advantage of cutting the F hole first, because if you did that afterwards and sort of thought, oh shit, I'm cutting into the side as well, you know, you've got a lot of tidying up to try and do when it's very difficult. But with the top off, it's quite simple. So I'll just line this up with the centre line now there, and I can draw a mark on there. So basically we've just got a little corner there, so what I think I'll do is just like draw a line round like that, and then we'll run in the router around the edge there, so it looks nice and smooth, and just take that area out, and then we'll be fine. So I'll get that done now, and then we'll be ready to glue the top on. So here we go, 2 minutes work with the router. I've just tidied up that, cut that edge back now, so when the top goes on down there, you can't see any of the side of the body really. So that's got the top ready to glue on. Shouldn't be a problem. I'm just trying to think what I want to do now is sand the inside of this nice, because I actually want to paint this a colour, or at least stain it and get a bit of gloss on it. I just think it will look really nice. And I was thinking of like a dark emerald green sort of thing, which I think will go really well with this top. So let's get sanding that and get it ready for some finish. I mean, I might pour the finish in through the F hole, or I might I don't know yet. Yeah, anyway, it needs sanding, so we'll get on with that. Cheers. Well, here we are. Doesn't really look like much other than the pile of G clamps, but we've got the top, rosewood top, being glued on now. Basically a ton of clamps, and we're all good. In the end, I decided not to finish the inside of the guitar behind the F hole, because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. It might be as simple as pouring some dye in there and a bit of lacquer, or I might not do anything if I like it as it is, so I couldn't really make up my mind there. I suppose I should have glued the edging around the F-hole that I wanted, the maple edging, but again I'm not 100% sure whether I want to do it or not, so I prefer to get the body in a more of a state of being finished. Basically, so now I'm doing that on, I mean, you may think I'm steaming ahead with this at a hell of a rate of knots, which I agree, it's probably quite a quick build. I mean, this is probably the 4th or 5th day I'm on it, and I've only been doing a few hours a day, but this is probably like the 20th or 30th Telecaster I've built, so I know what I'm kind of doing. And this is a bit of an unusual one, as you've seen, but I've got all the templates, I've got everything, I know exactly what I'm doing, so it's quite quick. But so if you're taking on your first build and the Telecaster, you know, think about stuff before you do it. You know, get your lefts and rights and backs and fronts correct, because that's where you'll make the mistake, is cutting out the neck left-handed, or, you know, drawing the shape on the back of something when it's on the front, especially with templates, because they like flat and, you know, which way up do they go sort of thing. So just keep that in mind when you do it. But other than that, it doesn't really matter whether it takes you, you know, a month to build or 6 months to build, as long as you're happy with it in the end. And like I say, I'm quite happy with this. I mean, it's not really the most exciting guitar I've built, but I think it'll look great in the end. So tomorrow we'll come back, get these clamps off, tidy up the edge of the rosewood to the guitar, and then, you know, we'll have a completed body then that we can have a really good look and see exactly how we want to finish it. So yeah, I think we'll leave it there for today probably, and yep, leave this set and come back to it, and then when we've got a more of a complete guitar, we can see where we're going. Cheers. Well, welcome back to 3R Guitars and this Telecaster build. Yeah, a bit later today. I went to play golf this morning. Should have stuck to guitar building. I still can't hit a cow's arse with a banjo. But anyway, there we go. So back to more successful things, the guitar build. Yesterday we glued the top on. Yeah, pretty straightforward job, successful, just 101 clamps needed, and make sure it's all stuck down. Most important thing is to keep the, you know, the center line like absolutely spot on, which this is. So what I'll do now is take you over to the bandsaw, and we'll just run round, tidy up this as near as we dare to the body before giving it a route to clean it all up. So let me carry you over here. And you can see my bandsaw in the background there. Just all the usual stuff that we've done before. Let me grab my glasses. And we'll just get this excess cut off now. Wish I had a something on there. Oh, there's a lump of glue on the middle there. I'll just take that down so the thing will lay flat. That should be it. Well, we're getting round to the shape now. Yeah, that blade is not too good in that bandsaw, so I probably should have cut it a bit closer, but I'm sure the router will do it. The next thing I want to do is, you can see all these drips of glue down the outside here. I suppose I could have done a bit of a better job of cleaning it up, but the thing is, when I run the router around to trim this top to the size, the problem we'll get is that if the router hits that, which it will, the bearing on the router hit those lumps of glue, then it's going to give us all a wavy edge. So I'm going to spend a bit of time there with a wood chisel, just cleaving that glue off there. But you know, so we've just get that cleaned up, ready to route, and I'll bring you back for that. Cheers. Hi there, we're back at the router table just to trim up this top to the edge of the body after bandsawing it off. I've cleaned up the edge of the odd run of glue that was on there, sort of thing. So I've got my favourite router cutter that we described earlier, with a guided bearing on the bottom and the top. So I'll just use the top bearing so I can squash it against the body and just take off this. So let's just do that now. Now that was nice, quick, painless. So here we go. Here's the body now done. You can see the odd little dip in it, like on the side, say there, for instance. I mean, that will sand out okay, but it's just indicative that you know, your pattern that I made. Obviously, at some point I've been a bit enthusiastic in my routing, and I've taken a little chunk out of the pattern, so I'll have a look at that, check it. I've got another little dip here, but they're all within sanding distance. The one thing I did notice that I've done that I'm not too happy with myself is I routed the neck heel, and it's got these tiny radiuses on the end, which I don't want at all, because you know, it's going to be a set neck, so I want that edge to be square. So I think, well, I mean, it's only tiny. I'll have to take maybe a 1/16 to an 1/8 of an inch off the neck heel here, so push the joint slightly back, but that's all in the realms of bridge adjustment and whatnot, so it's not really a problem, but something I should have thought of when I was doing it in the first place. But I'm quite pleased with that now. I think that's looking really nice. I think next, what I'll do, I'm going to get the top sanded flat, get all this messy glue off it and stuff, and get it flat. And I was actually thinking about the back of the guitar. You know, I was going to put the old tummy tuck cut in there, which I decided not to do in the end. But what I might do is give the rear edge of the body like a much more pronounced round over than you'd have got on a normal Telecaster, which is quite square. So I think that will make it quite comfortable. I might go quite severe with that. I think that would be quite a nice feature. But have a think about that, and I'll see what cutters. I mean, I've got a router cutter with that much curve on it, which is a bit of a beast, and I think that would really be probably too much on the edge of the guitar there, but I don't know. I mean, I'll do a test piece and see what it turns out like. Other than that, I've got something like that, so I might just start off with that and see what that looks like. I think that would be quite nice, because as you round over in here, you don't want to take it right up to the neck, so the round over is maximum in the cutaway sort of thing, but as you come out of the cutaway, you want to finish it off by hand so you don't get much round over on here, otherwise it's going to screw up the neck joint equally in here as well. So we'll have a look how that goes, but next job is going to be flattening off this top and sanding it flat, and then we can start concentrating on the neck joint. But it's looking quite good now. I mean, if we put it down and have a look on here, we can start imagining the guitar at least. You know, here's the neck going on, and we've got the fretboard here as well, so you can get an idea of, you know, just the colours of it. And I think it's going to look really nice with the black ebony fretboard, this dark wood here. Yeah, it's going to look quite cool, I think. So let's get sanding. Thank you very much. Well, hi there. I thought I'd jump in with that then, as I was ready to do it. A bit of explanation now. So we're squaring off the end of the neck heel, ready for the neck joint. I was thinking about the best way to do it. I have this Stratocaster template that I know is perfectly square, and it's got like a it's got like a centre line running down it, and I know this edge is dead square to that centre line. Checked it. So through the gaps here I can line up the centre line with the centre line of the top veneer, top body cap on here, so I know this edge is square. So what I've done now is just use this as a guide and routed the edge of the neck off, and then yeah, so that's dead square. But I just thought, you know, how can I do this sort of thing? It's a really easy way, so not too much of a problem in the end, and I know now I've got a perfectly square edge for the neck joint, so that's a blooming excellent. Good.